All right, here we are on this hot day doing Q&A. I think it's gonna hit 100 today. Let's see. So, I think, did we miss a week? I think we're a week or two behind, but time to do some answers to some questions that have been left in the comment section. Let's see. First one here is on the 03 to 07 Accord brake flush. How often do you recommend doing the brake flush? Some people say 2 years, 3 years. If you're within that range, you're probably fine. You'll pretty much know when it's bad just by looking at it. It'll get like a metallic appearance if it's really bad. It'll get turned black. Yeah, it's definitely good to change every 2 to 3 years because you want to get rid of all the contaminants and the moisture that can collect in there. Is that better? Okay. All right, next question. Let's see. 95 to 04 Tacoma. Is this similar to the 3rd gen 4Runner? If it's the 4Runner I'm thinking, if it's the 4Runner that's from the same years as 95 to 04, well, close. I think it's 95 to 02. But anyways, yeah, it's the same brakes on the same generation 4Runner. Okay, next question. 10 to 15 Prius AC evaporator cleaning. Said it was a waste of money. Didn't see any difference. I don't know. If you use the air freshener, I mean, that should at least make a difference. Yeah, I kind of wonder about the effectiveness of this myself. It seemed like the foam just shot in there and it just liquefied pretty quickly and poured back out. So I'm not too sure about the effectiveness, to be honest. But definitely spraying air freshener in through the cowl vents below the windshield, and you can also put in a carbon cabin air filter, which will also get rid of odors. So that's another thing you can do to help the problem. So hope that works out for you. Let's see, next one, 96 to 2000 Civic plug replacement. Oh, we need to do a belt video. Yeah, we'll do that soon, maybe next week. There's 3 belts on that car, so that should be fun. I think I've had them on the car for at least 100,000 miles, so might need to actually buy some new ones. Next question, 96 to 2000 Civic valve adjustment. It's asking about the crankshaft position. I think what this is saying for the first cylinder. We tried to clarify in the video, but you need to have your crankshaft pulley, the white mark lined up with the little arrow on the crankshaft, and then the camshaft gear needs to be have the up mark facing up. So that's how you line up cylinder number 1. If that still doesn't help, I want to consult the repair manual, because you definitely don't want to do that wrong. Let's see, 98 to 2002 Corolla water pump. Trying to verify old versus new. If you're doing the water pump, if you're using the water pump from the dealership, they're only going to have the new one available. The old model is discontinued. You can't even get one. If you're doing aftermarket, that's another issue. Don't know if some aftermarket companies might still be selling the old design, but definitely good to go with the original. I would totally recommend doing the original Toyota pump, but you know, budget's also an issue. They're expensive. So yeah, we can try posting the part number, but I have to go to work and check that out. Gotta look it up. I forget what the part number is. Okay, next one, 03 to 07 Accord transmission, drain and refill. Let's see, lower control arm. On our car, the lower control arm hasn't become an issue. I guess I'll have to look into that and see if that's a common thing. But yeah, at this point, we don't have any reason to take it off. We'll see if maybe we can do that or not. Next question, 03 to 07 Accord drain and refill. It says we said 2.5 quarts, took 3.1. Yeah, I don't know if there was a confusion there. I know this car takes at least 3 quarts. It should be like somewhere around 3.5 or so. So 3.1 sounds close enough. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we had some misinformation. Sorry about that. Let's see. 0307, another drain refill question. Oh, it's just a comment that the engine sounds funny. The engine runs great. I don't know. Maybe it was something about the audio. But yeah, there's no issues with that engine. Runs good. Let's see. Can the thermostat be a reason for leaking coolant? Possibly. Oh, this is on 94 and 97 Accord. If the thermostat gets stuck and it won't open, it's going to create excessive pressure, excessive heat, and it could force a leak. So that's a possibility. Well, it's not necessarily the reason for the leak. It definitely is possible. On a Prelude, I had a buddy with a Prelude with the same exact engine, and he had a stuck thermostat. It wouldn't stop leaking from the lower radiator hose. We thought there was something wrong with the hose, replaced it, still leaked. Turned out it was the thermostat. So that's definitely a possibility. 03 to 07 Accord belt tensioner. Let's see, vibrations felt through the steering wheel. Something like this, you would hear it, but most likely you're not going to feel it. You're going to feel things that are in the braking system, in the steering or suspension, but you're not gonna. Are we running out of memory? Okay, you're probably not gonna feel anything in the steering wheel from the tensioner, unless it's really bad and it's vibrating like crazy, maybe. But yeah, it might be something else going on there. So be careful. Let's see, 93 to 08 Corolla lower ball joint replacement. Saw that in the video the ball joint moved. Not supposed to move at all. Well, it does move. It pivots on a ball, so it pretty much moves any which way. So that's normal. Let's see, 96 to 2000 Civic HX side mount replace. Oh, okay, this was where the typical engine mount that breaks. We don't have a video on the lower mount. Maybe if you can leave a comment for clarification. I'm thinking maybe this is about the mount in the back of the engine, because that one's down below, bolted to the subframe. We can probably do a video on that. Just want to make sure you're doing the right one. Let's see. Next question is on the rear shocks on the Corolla. Is this the same for a Yaris 2008? All the Yaris are basically the same. I think that is safe enough to assume. The rear shocks, the only difference I'm thinking is it might be different with the brake line situation. I don't know if you have to disconnect the brake lines or not, but basically otherwise it should be the same. Haven't worked on the Yaris much because they don't come to the dealership that much, and I don't happen to know anybody that has one. I knew somebody that had an Echo, which is the predecessor to the Yaris. But anyways, hopefully we can track down a Yaris soon enough, and we can check that out and make some videos on it. Let me see, 91 to 05 GS 400. Oh yeah, this one, saying that there's trouble moving the starter. This is probably something I would think that was already addressed by now, because this is from the 3rd. There is a bolt that's in the back that you can't see. You have to feel that bolt, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it is a little tricky getting this starter out. It's definitely not the most straightforward thing. It's pretty much tricky all the way through. But I hope that worked out okay for you. Let me see. 03 to 07 Accord. What happens if you don't use Honda antifreeze? Prestone. That stuff sucks. I never use Prestone unless it's like for backup. I mean, it serves its purpose, I guess. It may work fine for some cars, but with imports, I just see problems with corrosion, and it's just not the right formula. These days you'll see the parts stores will carry an Asian car formula. It might not be on the shelf, it might be in the back, but there is definitely a different formula that is geared towards the Japanese cars. I think it's kind of a semi-universal, so it's for like Nissan, Mazda, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Lexus, all those cars. So I would definitely get one of those. I think Presto might even make it, I'm not sure, but definitely look for the Asian formula. Okay, next, let's see, 95 Accord radiator fan is not working properly, saying the fan does not turn on. I think we sort of addressed this in a video. The fan is operated by the fan switch, which is on the thermostat housing, and you can test that by jumping a paper clip between the two terminals. If you disconnect the fan switch and put a paper clip or some wire between the two terminals on the harness side, it should turn on the fan. If it does not, then you got an issue with either a dead fan, dead relay, or something wrong with the electrical system there. But yeah, you definitely need to check that out if your fan is not turning on. I had a dead fan switch, and the car ran great for the longest time until one time I went up a hill and it started overheating. So the funny thing about Hondas is they'll run with a dead fan for a while. You can run actually for maybe a very long time with a dead fan. So you gotta be careful.